Good morning. On this episode of The Professor Helps, I'm going to be talking to you about a book I cannot stop thinking about, and I think you need to go out and get. It's called Soundtracks, and it's by Jon Acuff. I'm going to post the link below my YouTube video so you know exactly where to go and buy this book. So, I don't typically make a habit of using my platform to push other people's products. The reason being is that I feel like people make their own decisions about what they want to buy, what they want to purchase, what they want to consume. And one of my goals eventually is to talk to you about my own book, which I'm writing. In the meantime, this is a book that has helped me tremendously. Even in the last month, I have noticed a huge increase in my level of happiness and satisfaction and pursuing of my goals. So why? Well, let me tell you about it. So Jon Acuff is an author that I've followed for many years, and one of the things that I really like about Jon is that he tells the truth. He tells it like it is. He really focuses on talking about authenticity and being real. And one of the first things that I love about this book is that it talks about overthinking. And if you're anything like me, you overthink. The little dots that pop up on the phone, like when someone's sending you a text message, you're wondering what that person's going to send you. So then they send you the text message and it's there and it's all in its full glory, and you overthink what it might mean. You assign things to the text message that don't actually exist. They're all in your head. Maybe you haven't done that. Maybe something that you've done is thought about a conversation you had with somebody, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years ago that didn't go well. And now you're no longer friends with this person. And you think, gosh, I wonder if I could have done something differently. Maybe that's not you. Maybe you overthink what you're going to write. Maybe you overthink what you're going to do. Maybe overthinking is something that you do so much you don't even think about it being part of your daily fabric. I wouldn't say that that's exactly me, but I know that that's a lot of people I know. So one of the things that I love about this book is it doesn't just outline what a soundtrack is and how you can replace it. It gives you practical application. It talks about the science behind why we overthink and where that comes from. And I'm a big fan of science. And I think that one of the things that I love about this book is that everything that is posited is also backed by scientific research. And one of the things that I want you to take away from today, just in this video, is that overthinking steals your creativity, your time, and your goals. So if you think about that, maybe one of the things that you hear over and over again is that I can't do that, I'm too old. Well, who says? Like, that's fear talking, or maybe that's your mother talking, or your father, or a well-meaning uncle or aunt who was actually not well-meaning at all. One of the things that is identified in this book is how we talk to ourselves. And sometimes we're not so nice to ourselves. And one of the things that you can do is stop a soundtrack in its tracks and retire it and say, you know what, that doesn't really fit anymore. So one of the ones that I uncovered while I was reading this book is I don't take very good care of my teeth. And I've posted about that on my blog. I've actually spoken about it too. And it's really all tied up in that I had parents in my childhood that did not encourage me to take care of my teeth. Now, once I passed 18, it was my job to handle it. And certainly after I had my own child, it was my job to handle it. And when I tell you I had reminders set on my calendar, on my phone, on any AI that I could get my hands on, all of it was set up. Like every day there was a reminder, hey, go brush your teeth, go floss your teeth. And none of it was working. And the reason is because I had this soundtrack in my head that I didn't deserve to have good dental hygiene, because no one really walked me through that when I was a kid. And then one day I was brushing Vivian's teeth. That's my 4-year-old. And I realized we brush our teeth because we both deserve beautiful smiles. And it stuck like nothing else had. And when I tell you, I have gone to dentist appointments where I have been in agony because I have not taken better care of my teeth. I don't do that out of pride. I do that out of the hope that my experience can be a teacher for you. What is it in your life that you do over and over again, or that you tell yourself over and over again that just simply isn't true? Another powerful one that I've uncovered is, I didn't uncover it, other people have said it, is that, this past year has been absolutely horrible. Everybody's figured out how to react in a pandemic, but the truth is that a really good and useful soundtrack when you don't know how to handle something is, this is my first global pandemic, because it is all of ours. We're going through this together. We're figuring out together. We're understanding it together. We're getting mad at it together. We're figuring out how to cope together. And yeah, things are getting better. There's a vaccine available. People are social distancing. We're getting a handle on this. Herd immunity is coming. And it's still our first global pandemic. And there's stuff about it that's just hard, like just so hard. Not being able to hug my mom, that sucks. Not being able to hug people with abandon. Not like I went up to people, perfect strangers, and hugged them, but you know what I mean. Like being able to just talk to people. It's just a completely different world now. I mean, I have to elbow wing people when I want to shake their hands because I'm meeting new people, and it's really difficult. It's an anathema to people who like people like I do. And back to the book. One of the things about the book that is so powerful is that John talks about his own failures, his own times where he overthought himself out of something. And I think that it's really powerful. One of the reasons I'm using my platform to talk about this book is because it's actually helped me bust out of my comfort zone, and I've started actually writing my book. I've talked about it for years. And one of the soundtracks I came up with is A Writer Writes. And it's pretty simple, but it's working. I'm writing chapters at least 2 or 3 times a week. And I've also asked for an accountability partner because I know that if I have someone checking in on me, I will keep my word more accurately to myself. Another soundtrack that I uncovered is that I used to say to myself over and over again, I'm bad at math, I'm bad at math, I'm bad at math, I'm bad at math. And I believed it. I believed it really wholeheartedly, so much so that I failed the 6th grade. And I don't usually tell people that, but there is a part of me that hopes that you have something like that in your past that has unwittingly defined you. And then you can take the power back and refute it with fact and say, you know what, actually, I'm not bad at math. My husband and I have saved a lot of money. We've been smart with money, and we continue to be smart with money. We're saving for a house. We got out of debt. There's a lot of things that we have done with numbers to refute the idea that I'm bad at math. So another one that I came up with is I'm bad at math is the old soundtrack. So you retire that one and you replace it with something new, which is I'm good with numbers. I'm good with numbers. I'm good with numbers. And then you repeat it until it feels natural. The other thing about that is that it allows you to have a more powerful stance on something that has been controlling you. Now you're in control. And one of the quotes from the book that I absolutely love is that thoughts are something that you hone, not something that you have. So think about that. Like today, because I'm all about trying to give you practical application. Today, if you're walking into a meeting that you're nervous about, say to yourself, I've got a gift worth giving. Everything is working out for me. These are just some examples of some things that I've started to say. And before you have that meeting, control your thoughts. Have the thoughts that you want to have. Go ahead and hone them and think, everything is working out for me. Everything is working out for me. And it sounds very Pollyanna puffery, but there's actually a lot of science to back up the idea that what we say to ourselves really matters. How we talk to ourselves really matters. And why wouldn't you choose to say something kind to yourself? Why wouldn't you choose yourself, choose your thoughts, and choose your words? One of the biggest things too is that, what we say to ourselves matters a great deal. And, what are you saying to yourself that isn't true? What can you give up today? And it could be something really simple. It could be, one that was discovered during the launch, because of course I'm on the launch team. And one that was discovered is somebody on the team said, I'm lonely. And the way that it was redefined is I'm built for people. And I certainly feel that one, built for people, very built for people. And, if you tell yourself, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm not ready for this. It's like, maybe remind yourself this is your first global pandemic. So one of the reasons that I do these messages is because my goal is to inspire you, motivate you, and possibly frustrate you to live your best life possible. And one of the reasons that I do these is not because I have this on lockdown, but because I'm figuring it out just like you are. And so I invite you today to retire a broken soundtrack, start a new one, see what it feels like. It's going to feel weird at first, but I promise you, it's going to give you some really good dividends. So ladies and gentlemen, I am the professor, and this is the professor signing off.